Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right in today to unpack a deceptively simple fable from Germany. It's all about a retired soldier named Hans, but, at its core, it's this brilliant, heartwarming examination of identity, duty, and how we actually define the people we look up to. If you're the kind of person who loves dissecting narratives that challenge how we view the world, you are absolutely in the right place. So let's get into it.
Before we go any further, I want you to genuinely reflect on something for a second. Who is a true hero, really? Like, when you hear the word hero, what image immediately pops into your head? Is it someone in a cape? Maybe a first responder in a uniform? Or just someone doing the literal impossible? I want you to hold on to that image as we walk through Hans's story, because, honestly, it might just change the way you answer that question forever.
Okay, let's dive into this, starting with the first part of our story, which is all about a hero's identity. So, meet Hans. He's a retired German soldier, a man who dedicated many years of his life to serving his country. And even now, in his retirement, he meticulously preserves his old army uniform, and he deeply treasures his military medals. I mean, think about it. These aren't just objects collecting dust in a closet for him. They are literal physical anchors to his past identity. They represent sacrifice, real courage, and a life completely defined by strict, high-stakes duty. For someone who has spent years operating in life-or-death scenarios, stepping away from that defining uniform and adapting to civilian life, that is a profound psychological shift. It's an immense source of pride and a very rich history that he carries with him every single day. Moving on to part 2, village life. As time moves forward, military service inevitably ends. We see Hans transition away from the intense, unpredictable battlefield to a much more peaceful retirement. He settles down with his family in a small, quiet village, trading that highly regimented life for a slower, calmer pace.
Now, what's really interesting about this contrast is the sheer duality in Hans's life right now. Just look at the two sides of his world. On one side, you've got his past, right? Completely defined by the intense, chaotic environment of war, the strict discipline of the uniform, the medals. But then, on the other side, his present is defined by absolute peace, being with his family and teaching the local kids. He's a man who intimately knows the absolute chaos of the battlefield, and yet here he is fully embracing the calm of a small village. It is just a total pivot in his everyday purpose.
And actually, his greatest joy in this whole new chapter isn't just sitting back and resting on his laurels. Not at all. It's passing those rich, lived experiences down to the village children. He takes the absolute best, most honorable parts of his military training and translates them into these vital life lessons for the kids: discipline, courage, and, most importantly, helping others. He's actively finding a way to make his past service deeply relevant and impactful in his peaceful present.
That brings us to part 3, a small help. Because, the true test of a person's character really happens when not normal, peaceful routine is suddenly interrupted.
So, one afternoon, that perfectly quiet village routine is completely shattered. A small child wanders off and gets lost. And as you can imagine, this sends a sudden wave of sheer panic running through this tight-knit community. But Hans, he doesn't hesitate for a single second. He immediately steps in with this calm authority and deep love of someone who knows exactly how to handle a crisis. He helps the child, comforts them, and ultimately ensures they are safely reunited with their frantic family. It's a relatively simple sequence of events on the surface, but man, it holds massive significance for who he truly is at his core. Which leads us perfectly into the final part of our story. What is true bravery? Let's shift our focus away from the events themselves for a second and really look at the emotional core and the deeper meaning behind his seemingly simple actions. Right after this incredibly emotional reunion, On shares a truly profound realization with the village. He says, "True bravery is not just in war, but in helping someone in times of need." Let that sink in for just a moment. Here is a man with physical medals proving his valor on the actual battlefield, and he equates an everyday act of kindness to true bravery. It's incredible. He is completely reframing what it means to be courageous. And this naturally sparks a huge collective realization for the rest of the villagers. They realize that a person's goodness, their deep sense of duty, and their inherent responsibility, well, those things don't just vanish into thin air just because they take off their official service uniform. Duty isn't just a piece of clothing you hang in a closet at the end of the day, right? It's a lifelong trait. It is a state of character that stays incredibly alive long after the official service is over. So, the crucial point is that we are fundamentally redefining everyday heroism based on this story. A true hero isn't confined to a specific job title, a battlefield, or some crazy action movie scenario.
A true hero is simply someone who makes the active choice to continue helping others throughout their entire life, no matter where they are, no matter what they're wearing. It's all about that everyday vigilance and unwavering compassion.
Which brings us right back to you. We started off by asking how you define a hero. Well, looking at your own life, your own community, and the invisible uniforms that you wear every single day, who can you help today to become a hero? Where is there a struggling neighbor, a friend in need, or just an opportunity to step in and truly embody Hans's definition of bravery? Heroism is totally accessible to all of us every single day. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to explore our next topic with you.